So here we are, we've got a standing rib roast, nice marbling, which another term for this is prime rib. Right here is your prime rib cut. You see all the beautiful marbling in it.
That is gorgeous.
Did a little sea salt dry age, let it soak in. You can see there's only a few little kernels or granules of salt left. We're going to shoot it with pure avocado oil, and then we're going to coat it with some garlic and fresh ground black pepper that we just ground up and put together here. So, away we go.
Everything is fresh. Also.
Take some of that.
Do you rub it on or just spread it?
I am going to do both. Here, see, like that. Get a good healthy. I don't do what most people do, which I consider over seasoning. A good cut of beef doesn't need a ton. Yes, I'm going to get the edges. I'm going to get every inch.
Ooh, that looks nice on the back.
This is the fat cap here, and you notice I've trimmed it down. I may take a little more of that off.
And that's not blood, that's meat right there.
Yeah, that's right. But when we get the top, use the oil to give it a nice
spray.
Well, it gives a spray. It gives the seasoning something to stick to. Because without that, they'll just sort of fall off while it's cooking. Or before it's cooking.
Oh yeah. Are you smoking it or cooking?
We are smoking it.
Ooh.
Oops, I did not cut that off. You know what? I'm going to take that cap off. A little bit there. Cut this right off. Try not to cut too much of the meat off.
There's a piece you forgot.
Yeah. Didn't really think about it before, but here we go.
Ooh, that looks really nice. And it's not blood.
Fat. Here we go. The rest of that will melt away while we're cooking. There we go. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt.
And I remember my daddy said salt sucks up the moisture.
Salt sucks up the moisture, and then the meat sucks the moisture back in.
In the smoking
and
process?
That makes the meat tender. Okay, now.
A tender meat is a happy meat.
Tender meat is a happy mouth. Nice little blend here. Put that on there. Make sure you watch your screen. This up here. A little more oil. Something to stick to. There we go. And anything I got left just goes on. Push that out. Okay, we're going to stick this back in the fridge for a few minutes while the smoker comes to temperature. And then we're going to set this baby on, ribs down, just yummy as can be. And we'll see it in a few minutes. We have a 6.7 pound, so 6 3/4 pound rib roast, standing rib roast, or prime rib roast, depending on how you call it. Set here at 225 degrees. The internal temperature of the roast, I don't know until I plug it all the way in. The internal temperature of the The internal temperature of the roast is about 35 degrees, which means that's going to get all sweaty, and it's going to draw the juices and the smoke back in. Down here I've got some beef broth, and I like to catch the drippings. Down here we got some beef broth. I like to catch the drippings from these, turn them into a nice au jus to go on the steak. So we'll take care of that a little later, but for now it's time to set it, as they say, and forget it.
Right, done.
Okay, here we go. We're going to check on it. It's been, almost 4 hours, and it's looking gorgeous. I did flip it over once. And what we're going to do is take this off of here. I'm going to set it right over here on the rack for a bit and cover it up. It's at about 110 degrees, but you'll notice it doesn't really have much of a bark. So I'm going to cover it up here. Keep that from getting too cold. This is our drippings. We're going to take these off, take them inside, and get a great au jus out of that. Now this gets shut. We crank it up as high as it goes, and then we'll put the roast back on until it's at about 125 degrees. See you then. Here we are, 450 degrees. I just put it back on. I'm sorry, 400 degrees, because the only thing I don't care about the Cuisinart is it tops out at 400 instead of 450 like my Traeger. But the Traeger is out there by the camper and it's cold outside, so it's much nicer in here. Alrighty, so here we have the au jus that was created from the drippings of the roast, or prime rib, as it were. All I did was add a little better than bouillon beef and a little bit of cooking sherry. Let it come just under a boil, stirring it the whole time, and I just stopped. And it's absolutely delicious. It's salty, it's got a little pepper to it, it's got that nice taste from the dry sherry. It's just absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's check this out. Ooh, okay, it's at 125 degrees. Pulled away from the bone nicely here. Oh gosh, that feels about done to me. Let's take a look. Ooh, yeah, and hot. Grab a paper towel. We're going to set it on the rack here. We're going to take it inside and we will get it resting for about a half an hour, and then it'll be about ready to eat. Alright, our standing rib roast is in resting for about 15 more minutes. I've got the griddle nice and hot. We're going to get our garlic, ranch, baby carrots started, and in a few minutes we'll get our herb and garlic green beans going. I'm going to cap these off and just let them cook. Okay, well, what I did was wrap that rib, but I don't like the taste of metal, so I wrapped everything in parchment first. Then I used the foil to trap all that good moisture and heat. See what it looks like? Whoa, ho, ho. And I just pull the foil and paper out, and now let's be very careful, lots of juice. The juice can get poured right into the au jus pan, because that's good juice. Oh, boy.
Look at that.
Let's take a little gander. Shouldn't have cut from this side. Used the wrong hand too. Okay, stop recording. Alright, now I got a second glove. Let's try cutting into this guy. Oh, that cut's nice. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just gotta hold it so it doesn't slip out from under your hands. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll do the big reveal. And, oh,
that's good.
Back it up a little bit, bud. There we go. Let's try and get down here and cut right between that bone. Get that bone separated. I know, most people cut the bone off. I like the way it looks with the bone on. Oh, get back on there. Goodness! Good thing we keep our kitchen clean.
Nice.
There we go. Now let's take a look at that.
You can tell it's juicy because
now let's take a look. Okay, there we go. See up here? You got a nice bark and dark area, and it's super pink and red and juicy in the middle. That is a perfectly cooked prime rib. The final take. Juicy prime rib. I like to leave it on the bone. I think it looks nice. Some nice carrots, green beans, baked potato, and a biscuit. I don't know what more you could want out of life right now. At least I can't think of much of anything. By the way, it is so absolutely tender and juicy, flavorful, way deep. See that nice dark ring around the edge and the pink middle? Everything worked out perfect. I highly recommend the method.